Welcome back, I'm Tedward. Welcome to Road America and welcome to the 2023 Genesis G90. This is the flagship luxury sedan from Hyundai's luxury brand. The Genesis G90 certainly looks the part. It's got a very long wheelbase, incredible interior, and all of the styling cues to indicate that this is a limousine, not simply your average sedan. Coming around the back, I do think that Genesis has done such a great job with their lighting design. They've smoothed everything out, but you can still see all the same sort of styling cues that range across the Hyundai brand, because that has the same sort of rear shape as a Sonata and a Elantra. Let's take a quick peek in here. Loads of storage space, and we've got all kinds of fun sounds happening behind us because we are at the Mama Rally. There's tons of cars here, and we're getting a taste of all of them. So plenty of room back here. Everything closes and opens with nice ease. Quiet little motors and things. Not the most quiet in the segment, but it does the job pretty well. This has 375 horsepower from its 3.5-liter twin turbo V6. It's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it'll get the job done. I do think from the front, my goodness, this is imposing. This is like old world luxury. The size of this grille, the size of this hood. So let's get under there and see what's in there. We've got pop-out door handles, which, historically have not been my favorite thing, just because sometimes they're annoying. They don't always work the way you want them to. I'm looking at you, Mercedes-Benz. But let's get under this hood. This is cool because the hood comes all the way up over those fenders. And under here, there is the heart of our Genesis. It's pretty wild to see how wide this thing is, and then how compact and tucked away this V6 actually is underneath all of this insanity. But it's pretty good. This is a monster hood. Wow, that is a lot of real estate. Now, this V6 also has an electric supercharger, which is powered by the 48-volt mild hybrid system, so it's able to basically start producing boost before exhaust gases boost up those turbos. So it's kind of like a pre-spool, if you will. In the rear, check out these doors. This is absolutely wild. There's great textures here. There's great ambient lighting. You have your massage chairs back here. Let's get this thing turned on just in case there's anything that doesn't work while we're in it. Ooh, starts up nice and smooth. So look at this. If this isn't a limousine, I don't know what is. We've got all of our controls back here, so we can adjust our rear seats, and we have our rest button here. So we can just put this out, and then, okay, it's not happy with me for something, but I can use my automatic door to close, which is kind of an awkward thing because you're pushing out to come in. I would rather have that like a Wraith where it's like up here or back there. Okay, I stand corrected. That button, yes, does that, but I do have this button here, and that will bring this closed. So that way we can close the door on the Rolls-Royce Ghost, the much more expensive version. I also have massage seats, and I can change exactly where these massagers are going to be on my back. I really dig that. I think this is great. Look at this touchscreen. I mean, this is some pretty high-end stuff, guys. This is really outrageous. Of course, I've got my vanity mirrors and all the goodies. So let's jump up front and take it for a drive. To put it in drive, we rotate this, and off we go. This is insanely supple. What a beautiful ride. But my number one complaint already is the bottom of this seat. It's just kind of like I'm sitting on top of the little massager guys. Like, if they're not massaging, they're not comfortable. They're just like kneading into my butt. So that's kind of a bummer. That might actually be a deal breaker for me on this car. I've got these great controls for my heated and cooled seats. Now, let's pop it into sport mode. See how she gets around a corner and off the line. Masks its weight pretty nicely, actually. That's my helmet in the back. Apologies. See how she does over the tracks. Oh, beautiful. Man, the suspension on this thing is outrageously good. This is proper Luxo barge stuff. Wow. You can hear the auto start stop. Gets out of the hole nicely. Super smooth and refined steering feel, but like direct. I don't feel like I'm getting lost. Sometimes you get in these cars and you feel like, whoa, man, it's a big car, and you get a little lost in the steering. This is just right there with you. It's great. Also, the steering wheel design is really cool because it's a two-spoker, I guess. And, I like to drive like this in a big Luxo barge. That's a cool thing. You drive a little underhanded like that. It's nice. Check out these paddle shifters. Little throttle goes a long way. Fairly responsive on throttle. This is okay. I don't think it's a driver's car. I don't think you get in this thing and think like, oh, I'm going to go attack some corners. But I do think it provides some thrills, like just enough. Like, it's not a bad thing to put into a corner. The brakes feel fantastic. The brakes feel like luxury. I love the way the powertrain climbs to the red line. That feels really good. Yeah, man. This is proper. Under 100 grand? I think so. I think this is pretty darn good. This definitely competes with some heavy hitters in terms of actual feel. Like, I have to tell you, like, I might have a little complaint about the seat bottom. I'm getting used to it. But this suspension is sublime. This is really good. Positive but luxurious brakes. Like, what you don't want in your big limo is brakes that's going to send your passengers' necks snapping forward every time you go for the pedal. So they progress really nicely, but you also don't want the driver to be fearful of the fact that there's no brakes to be had. So this plays a really nice balance of pedal feel, front end washes away a little bit, pedal feel, and positive braking capability. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of an understeer in terms of like around a corner abilities, but I guess a little bit of coercion with some weight transfer would get the job done and maybe, I don't know, potentially rotate this tail. But yeah, this is just not how anyone's driving this car. I don't think that's the thing. So we'll go into drive mode, go back into comfort mode. Oh, I'm pleasantly surprised by this thing. Okay, it's just changing. My seat is changing right now. It just like boosted up the seat bottom, and I did not touch this. So this is very odd. I think this is why I'm having this fleeting sensation of the seat bottom being uncomfortable and then realizing, no, it's fine. It's like changing on me. Don't understand. Anyway, I turn that back on so that way if it's changing, it's because I asked it to. I do wish I could get the seat a little bit lower. I want to be lower in the car, but I have great visibility, so maybe that's the intention there. I love the cameras on the side here. Those make a big difference. The transmission's good, but it doesn't give you like snappy lightning fast shifts. You can feel it kind of going ugh, ugh, into the next gear. Acceptable. I'm not like trying to pan it for that. I'm just saying like this isn't like boom, 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 like some kind of fancy, crazy ZF8 speed that you'd find in an AMG. Let's get a quick 0 to 60 right here. No one's behind us. We'll go into sport mode. All right, off we go. There it is. Plenty acceptable. Not the fastest thing on the planet, but it'll definitely do the job. I think the purpose of this car is to give somebody a great place to be with all kinds of incredible features for a bargain price with an exceptional suspension. I mean, it really is an amazing suspension, to the point where I want to take this out to some like unrestricted roads and just drive at 150 miles an hour and not notice. You wouldn't even notice. So that is going to do it for our first impressions drive of the Genesis G90. Outrageous car, incredible features, some complaints, but overall pretty darn impressive. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, with such a long wheelbase, it has rear wheel steering to make it more maneuverable in tight spaces. So you'll be able to make those U-turns. You'll be able to navigate those tight city roads. I don't think they're quite as outrageous in terms of how far those rear wheels turn as the S-Class or the 7 Series, but it certainly does the job of making the car a little more agile. And that means it's also going to be more stable on the highway because they're going to turn in phase at high speeds in order to make it feel like a nice long bullet train.